Hello everyone. Welcome to the course Python Programming for Every Beginners. In this lecture, we will discuss about one of the important concept of Python basics, that is data types. Coming to the outline, first we will discuss about variable type, variable assignment, then finally data types. Variable type. So actually in Python programming language, there is no need to define type of a variable. During execution, the type of the variable is inferred from the context in which it is being used. Hence, Python is called dynamically typed language. For example, let us see a equal to 10. So we assigned the decimal value 10 to the variable a. So then what is the type of a here actually? So Python inferred the type of a as integer by seeing the value, whatever we assigned, automatically it takes the type. That's why Python is called as dynamically typed language. For example, b equal to 3.1.4. We know what is this number. This is actually floating point number. So the type of b is inferred as float. Then another one, c equal to Python within single quotes. So here by seeing this, what we can understand, this is a string. So the type of C is inferred as string. That's why Python is called as dynamically typed language. Now, if you want to know explicitly the type, so we can use a particular type of particular data that can be checked using a function which is called as type. So whenever you can use this function in the print statement, whatever the data we have taken, then its type is displayed explicitly. For example, print type of 20. Here directly it gives 20. What is the type of 20? It is actually integer value. So whenever you can run this command, print of type of 20, it prints the type with the class, the category class, int is the type. Similarly, print type of 9.12, for example. So it prints the class as, what is this one? Actually, this is floating point number. So its type is float. Like that, by using the type function, we can display the type of the data, whatever we have used here. So then the type of a variable can be checked using the built-in function type. So for example, here a equal to 10, then print of type of a, so it will printed as integer type. Then print of type of b, here b equal to 3.14, then it prints the type of b as floating point. Then c equal to Python, print of type of c, it prints the type as string type by using the inbuilt function type. So now coming to variable assignment. Here different types of variable assignments are there. First, single variable assignment. For example, if you want to assign the variables with the different values individually. So for example, here a equal to 10, this is one variable assignment. 10 is assigned to a. B equal to 3.14, this is another variable assignment. 3.14 is assigned to b. Then c equal to Python, which is a string. This string is assigned to c. So these are all single variable assignments. Then coming to multiple variable assignments. For example, here a equal to 10 semicolon, pi equal to 3.14 semicolon, course equal to Python. So here by using semicolon as a statement separator, here you can see actually wherever for every statement we have ended with semicolon. So these are all called as multiple statements and their values assigned. The same thing can be written by using a single line separated with comma. Suppose here a comma pi comma course equal to 10 comma 3.14 comma Python. So the 10 is moved to the first variable a, then 3.14 is moved to the second variable pi, then Python is moved to the third variable course. So like that, the order of assigning the values to the variables in the same order whatever we have given. Then another example, suppose single variable if you want to assign for all the, I mean single value if you want to assign for all the multiple variables. For example, a equal to b equal to c equal to 10. That means 10 is assigned to a and 10 is assigned to b and 10 is assigned to c also. But here different variables, different values. So both are different here. Then coming to data types. So actually the type function and the variable assignments. So here we will demonstrate during data types. So data type represents the type of data present inside a variable. In Python, we are not required to specify the type explicitly. Just now we mentioned. Based on the value provided, the type will be assigned automatically. Hence, Python is dynamically typed language. So Python supports majorly three categories of data types. First one is called as basic data type. Second one is called as container types. Third one is called as user defined types. These are all the three basic categories of data types available in Python. Let us see one by one. First, the following table shows list of all the categories of data types. First one, basic types. The following are the basic types available in Python. The first one is integer, float, string, complex, boolean, bytes, byte array, range, none. These are all comes under basic types. The second category is called as container types. Here it contains the following: list, tuple, set, dictionary. These are all container types, data types. Then the third category is called as user defined data types. Here class is related to user defined data types. So now the container types and user defined types will be discussed separately as chapters. So in this we will discuss all the basic types in detail. Then the container types, just overview we will discuss. So basic data types will be covered here in detail. Container data types will be covered briefly. Separate chapters are dedicated to each container type where they are covered in detail. User defined data types also will be discussed in separate chapter. Then coming to the first basic data type, int. So int can be expressed in various notations, like using binary notation with base 2, using decimal notation with base 10, using octal with base 8, and hexadecimal with base 16. So the binary notation start with 0b with lowercase b or 0 uppercase b. Then octal number start with octal number, so 0 small o or 0 capital O uppercase O. Where hexadecimal start with 0 lowercase x or 0 uppercase x. So by using these notations, we can identify the integers are of which category, either binary or decimal or octal or hexadecimal. For example, here decimal 30 is there. So if you want to represent into binary, so it must start with 0b with lowercase b or 0 uppercase b, followed by the binary code for 30. Here 11110. Whenever you can simplify this one, again you will get the decimal value 30. The same value 30 can be represented into octal 0O36. Then the same 30 is represented into hexadecimal 0x1e. So whenever you can convert this 30 into binary form, into octal form, into hexadecimal form, these are all the values used here. So these are all various representations in integer. Now let us see in Python examples. For example, if you can assign a equal to 10, whenever you can print a, what it displays 10. Then if you want to know the type of a, what value it contains. So actually 10 is the decimal value, which is the integer. So whenever you can print by using the type function, print type of a, it gives the output as class, the type is integer. Or directly also, if you can type without print statement also type of a, so directly it gives the output as class integer type. So then coming to the integer ranges, so int can be of any arbitrary size. For example, here there is no restriction in size of integer in Python, a equal to 1, 2, 3. So here how many bits? 3. Then B equal to 1, 2, 3 up to 9. Then C equal to 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again 1 to 9 like that C. So any arbitrary size here, there is no restriction on the length in Python. So because of Python is dynamically typed language, dynamically this type can be increased based on the requirement. So then Python has arbitrary precision integers. Hence we can create as big integer we want. Moreover, arithmetic operations can be performed on integers without worrying about overflow or underflow. This is the one of the advantages of Python here comparing to other programming languages. Then coming to the second data type, float data type. So float can be expressed in fractional or exponential form. For example, minus 123.123, comma 3.14152 E2. Here is the exponential form. Same lowercase e or uppercase e when anyone who can use here. Let us see some examples in Python. Suppose a equal to 65.14, so b equal to 85.0. Suppose if you want to print a by using print statement, print of a, it displays 65.14. Then the type of a, if you want to display print type of a, what is the type of a here? Actually that is floating point, so its type is class float. Then print b, what b contains 85.0, so the output is 85.0. If you want to know the type of b, print type of b, what is the type of b here? 85.0, that is floating point. The output is class float. These are all some of the examples of float data type. Similarly, float ranges similar to integer. Here floats are represented internally in binary as 64-bit double precision values as per the IEEE 754 standards. As per this standard, the maximum value of a float can have is approximately 1.8 into 10 power 308. So a number greater than this is represented as infinite, INF, that is the short form for infinite. This is the maximum value of float range. Then many floats cannot be represented exactly in binary form. So the internal representation is often an approximation of the actual value. The difference between the actual value and the represented value is very small and should not actually cause significant problems. So then next one is complex data type. Before moving to complex data type, so let us demonstrate the int and float examples in Python lively. So let us see here. Let us open the Python. So in start, you can search with Python ideally, whatever the Python software you install. So here in this system, I am using Python ideally 3.10, the latest version here. Okay, now this is the Python ideally. Okay, now the latest version what I installed is 3.10.1, released on December 6, 2021. This is the latest version. So now here I am demonstrating the int and float data type examples. So here I will open the program recently I have created here. So now here you can observe data types demo in Python 3.10.1 latest version. First int data type. So in int data type, let us see. So in this example, what we considered, here you can see. First we have assigned 10 to A. So then in print statement, beautifully we have mentioned heading as well as underline. So print demo of int data type, then here underlined with the star. Then first, if you want to print A, you can mention the text also. The value of A equal to, within double quotes, that is the string, comma, you can call the variable A. Then the type of A is, so comma type of A you can call. Then whenever you can run this one, the output is, so first it displays demo of int data type. then underlined with the stars, then the value of a equal to 10, then the type of a equal to class int. Similarly, if you can see the float data type, so in float data type, here b equal to, for example, 22.0, then c equal to 12e3, that is exponential value, then d equal to 12.34e2. So different values are there, bcd. So if you want to print all these values followed by their types, print demo of float data type, then the value of b equal to comma b, then the value of the type of b is comma type of b is called here this function, then the print the value of c, so you can call c comma c, then the type of c is, so you can call type of c function, then the value of d equal to, so d, then print the type of d is type of d. So whenever you can run this one, so here first 22 is printed in b, then 12 e3 is printed in c, so directly in the output it won't print e, so e equal to 10 here, so 10 power 3, so that can be multiplied with 12, the result is displayed here, then its type is float, then 12.34e2, so then with e 10 power 2, so the resultant value is displayed here. So these are all the two sample programs for int and float data type. So if you want to see the output lively, so in the run menu, you can click on run module or simply F5. Now you can see the outputs here. First demo of int data type. So whatever the program we have seen, the value of a equal to 10, then the type of a is class integer. Then demo of float data type. Here the value of b equal to 22, the type of b is class float, then the value of c equal to 12,000, then the type of c equal to c is class float type, then the value of d equal to 1234.0, then the type of d is float. So like that we can demonstrate whatever the examples we have explained. So these are all the outputs here. So that is int and float data type. So then coming to our third type of data type, so that is called as complex data type. So complex data type contains real and imaginary part. The general form of complex data type 1 plus 2j. So before plus whatever the integer value, decimal value, that is the real part. Then after plus, so whatever the value ended with j, either small j or capital J, that is called as imaginary part. Even separately we can display the real value and imaginary value in the Python. For example, here let us see, so a equal to 2 plus 3j. So if you want to print a, so this complex number directly displayed within parentheses 2 plus 3j. If you want to know the type of a, actually we don't know what is the type of a. So if we are unaware of the complex number, simply you can type this statement, print type of a, then the output is class, what is its type, complex type. This is the output displayed here. So then let us demonstrate this one also, the Boolean, complex data type. Let us see one program you can run here. So complex data type. So this is the program taken here. Let us see. So here y1 equal to 2 plus 4j, y2 equal to 5 plus 7j. Then even if you want to add two complex numbers, y1 plus y2, the result is stored in z. So whenever you can run this program, see what we are displaying here. First, the value of y1 we are displaying. So whatever the y1, 2 plus 4j displayed here. Then the type of y1 is, you can call the function type of the variable name y1. Then it displays the complex type. Then the similarly, if you want to display the real value in the complex number x plus yj, x is the real value. So the real value of, for example, y1 equal to 2 plus 4j, a real value is 2. If you want to display, for that the function is simply the variable name dot real. Whenever you can use this command, so directly from y1 it displays that value 2. Similarly, imaginary part, if you want to display further, the command is the variable name dot imag. So this is the command to display imaginary part, that is 4 after plus, so whatever the value, that is imaginary value. So now again for y2, if you want to print y2, then if you want to display the type of y2, these statements are useful. Then if you want to add these two complex numbers, so addition of two complex numbers y1 and y2, the result is stored in z. So then the result should be stored in z, that is 5 plus 2. First real parts are added, 7 plus then imaginary part, 7 plus 14, 11. So 7 plus 11j is the output. Again, if you want to display the type of z, here you can see is the print statement, print the type of z equal is type of z. Whenever you can run this program, see this is the output here. So let us will also run and see the output here. Now you can see this is the current program. You can see the bottom one, demo of complex data type. The value of y1 2 plus 4j. Then the type of y1, what is its type? Complex. Now you can see the real value of y1, starting value, that is 2. It displays the type as floating point 2.0. Then the imaginary value of y1, that is 4 after plus whatever the value, but it won't display j, only the value is displayed. So with the real floating point, then the imaginary value of y1 is 4.0. Then the value of y2, what we have taken, 5 plus 7j. Then that type of y2 is complex. Then addition of two complex numbers y1 and y2. So 2 plus 5, 7 real parts are added, plus then imaginary parts are added, 4 plus 7, 11. So 7 plus 11j is the output. Then the type of z is again, it's complex. So this is the output of the program what we explain. So that is about complex data type. Then coming to Boolean data type. So Boolean data type, in short, this can be treated as BOOL. So Boolean data type can take any of the two Boolean values, both starting in capital letters. So the two values are true and false. So true, capital first letter must and should start with capital T, that is uppercase letter. In false, first letter F must and should start with uppercase letter, capital F. So Python internally, true is represented with binary value 1, then false is represented with binary value 0. Okay, now let us see one example of Boolean data type. For example, here we have assigned true to A equal to true. Here T is capital letter. Then if you want print A, what it displays? The true value as it is displayed. Then if you want to know the type of A, here print type of A, it displays the type as Boolean, class Boolean. Similarly, B equal to false, then print B. Then what it displays? False. Then print type of B, what it displays? The class Boolean type. Okay, now let us demonstrate one example of this one also. So again, open the Python. Firstly, you can demonstrate the Boolean data type example. So now here separate file is created for Boolean. So now this is the program for example of Boolean data type. Here we have stored true in A, then false in capital B. Again, if you want to add A plus B, that is true and false, like the truth tables, how we will add in a similar fashion. So here if you want to print the value of A, then the type of A, then if you want to print the value of B, then type of B, then addition of two Boolean numbers A and B, that can be stored in C. Now if you want to print the type of C, then again we are adding true plus false plus true plus true plus false plus false, that can be stored in M. So what is this value actually? So 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 0. So what is this value actually? We'll see here. Then print the value of m here, then the type of m here. So the first one, the first print statement, what is the output here? For this, print the value of a equal to true. So here the value is true here. Then the second statement, the type of a. So what is the type of a? Actually true. So it is the type of boolean. Then the third statement, print the value of b. What is the b here? False. So here the value of b equal to false. Then what is the type of b here? Again the false is also boolean type. So the type of b is class boolean. Then addition of the two boolean numbers a and b, that is true plus false. So 1 plus 0. What is the result here? 1 plus 0 equal to 1. That can be stored in C. So but whenever you are adding the true and false values combinations, the result will be in the form of again integers only. It won't display like true false whenever you are adding. Then the type of C, what is the result here? This is not boolean type. C is 1, that is integer type. Here careful you can observe. After adding two truth values, true and false, so internally it takes true by 0, false by, true by 1, false by 0. 1 plus 0, 1. So it displays the result as integer value. That's why the type of C is integer. So then similarly, m equal to here. Let us see true 1 plus false 0 plus true 1. So 1 plus 0 plus 1, again true 1 plus 1, again plus false 0, again plus false 0. How many truths are there? 3. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, then plus 3 zeros. So zeros no change. So only plus values are added. 1 plus 1 plus 1 3 times. So you will get 3 as the result. Now you can see the value of m equal to 3. Then the type of m is here. What you will get? Again it is integer value. So its class type is integer. Let us run this program and check the output. So demo of boolean data type. Here you can see the value of a equal to true. The type of a is boolean. The value of b equal to false. The type of b is boolean. Addition of two boolean numbers a and b is stored in C. The value is 1. Then the type of C is integer. Then by adding true plus false plus true plus and so on, whatever stored in m. So the value of m equal to 3. Then the type of m equal to again integer. This is the demo of boolean data type. So then coming to next data type, string data type. This is very important. So string is an immutable collection of Unicode characters enclosed within. The string can be represented in different forms, within single quotations, then using double quotations, then using triple double quotes, or using triple single quotes also. Any notations we can use. For example, here Python, here single quotes are used. Only one single quote, starting and ending. Then Python double quotes, starting and ending. Then here you can see Python, here double quotes, here we can use 3 times. This is called as triple double quote. Same we can represent triple single quotes also. These are all the various forms of representing string in Python. For example, a equal to Python, here we used single quotes. Then if you want to print a, what it displays, output is Python. Then print type of a, then what is the type of a here? String. It displays the result as string. Then b equal to Python, here we use double quotes. Here any quotations you can use, there is no change. It can be considered as string only. Then print b, what it displays, Python. Then print type of b, what it displays, the type is string here. Then before moving to next data type, so let us demonstrate one example of string data type here. So demo of string data type. So here the example program what we have considered. So let us see here. First, whatever the example we explained. So for example, here x1 equal to Python. Here we used single quotes. Then x2 equal to one string, long string is used within double quotes. Python is high level programming language. Then x3 equal to, here we can see Python is scripting language. This can be enclosed within triple single quotes. Here single quotes repeated 3 times, starting and ending. Then another example, x4 equal to, Python is object oriented programming language. This string is enclosed with triple double quotes. Here you can see all possibilities are there. First single quotes, then double quotes, then triple single quotes, then triple double quotes. All the 4 types of notations are used here. Then whenever if you want to print this one, so the value of print the value of x1 equal to comma x1. Then if you want to display the type of x1, print the type of x1 is type of x1. Like all these statements you can include in print statement. So if you can run this program, let us see the output here. The bottom one you can see here, previous data type output is also displayed. Here you can see demo of string data types. Here you can see the value of x1 equal to Python, then the type of x1 equal to string. The value of x2 equal to whatever the string we have given, same is displayed. Python is a high level programming language. Then the type of x2 equal to string. Then the value of x3 equal to, Python is a scripting language. Then the type of x3 is string. Then the value of x4 equal to, Python is object oriented programming language. Then the type of x4 equal to string. Now you can see we have represented string with different types of quotations. Single quote, double quotes, then triple single quotes, triple double quotes. Any of the representation, the type is string type only. So these are the various notations of string representation. Then coming to next data type, bytes. So here bytes represent binary data. Bytes data type represents a group of byte numbers, just like an array. For example, the byte number must and should start with small b. Then within double quotes, you can represent the values starting with slash, backslash. So backslash xa1, then backslash xe4, then backslash x56. So it represents 3 bytes with hexadecimal values. So here the first one is a1, so then second one is a4, then third one is 56. So it displays output like this. So now here x equal to, you can declare this value b within single quotes slash xa1 slash xe4 slash x56, then close the single quote. Then you can store the value into another new variable by using the bytes. So by using the data type bytes. So for example, b equal to bytes of x. So now, so what x contains, the binary data. So that can be represented using the bytes data type. If you want to print b now, so what it prints whatever the binary data. Print b, it prints so the same value whatever we assign in the x. So b single quote slash xa1 slash xe4 v, like whatever. So it is displayed here. Okay, now here you can see clearly again, if you want to print the type of b, so print of type of b, what is its type here? Bytes. So this is the output here for bytes data type. So very simple. So directly in the Python, ideally, or any Python software you install, you can type and run this program. You will get these results. Then coming to next data type, so that is byte array data type. So byte array data type is almost similar to bytes. The only difference is byte array is exactly same as bytes data type, except that its elements can be modified. So here, for example, the list x equal to 11, 22, 33, 44. So then you can assign b equal to byte of x. Then all the values 11, 22, 33, 44. It can be represented into binary data. So whenever you can print b, this is the output here. So b, then single quotes slash x0b slash x16. So this is the output with byte array. Only the elements can be modified here. That is the difference here. So then coming to next data type, which is called as range data type. So here the range is used to get a range from starting point to the ending point. That is a fixed interval. The range function is used to get a sequence of numbers or grouping of numbers starting from 0 by default and increments by 1 by default and ends at a specified number. So actually the range is used in for loop. In the for loop later we will discuss. So in that condition we can use the range function. Now the syntax for the range function in Python, range. So by default the mandatory value stop is mandatory value. So then range, the other all parameters start comma stop comma step. So here you can see the stop is mandatory even without start and step. With only stop itself it executes. So start and step are optional parameters. Let us see the meaning of all this purpose. Start an integer number, specify the starting position. The default value is 0. This is optional parameter. Then stop an integer number, specify end position. This is mandatory, compulsory stop parameter is required. Then step, increment between each integer in the sequence. Default increment value is 1. This is also optional parameter. This is the syntax and parameters of range function. Let us see one example. For example, you are having the sequence like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here, what is the start value? Actually, start value is 1. Then the end value is 11. So if you can count total 11, then the increment value is 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1, 5, and so on, 9 plus 1, 10. The increment value is 1. So first one is the start value. Second one is the stop value, that means end value. So then this is the increment value, step value. So in the range function, we can include the values like this: start value, stop value, then step value. So similarly, 1, 3, 5, 7. Start value is 1, the end value is 10 after 9, whatever. Then the increment value is here, the difference is 2. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 2, 5. So the step value is 2. Similarly, 2, 5, 6, 8, 10. Range of starting value 2, end value 11, then the increment value 2. So then, for example, you are having only one value here. So the range of starting value is 1. Then the end value after 1, what is the end value? 2. Then by default, so it takes the increment by 1. So are some of the examples of range function. Then coming to none function. So none is the type for the none object, which is an object that indicates no value. None is the null of Python and its type is none type. Whenever you can use this value, then its type is displayed like this: none type. Is its none type. The none keyword is used to denote a null value or no value at all. So none is not the same as 0 or false or an empty string. This is a different one. So null value is different than 0, false or an empty string. So none is a data type of its own, that is none type, and only none can be none. For example, here in none, n should start with capital. Suppose x equal to none, none. Then print of x, what it prints? None. So whenever if you want to display type of x, what it displays? None type. Let us see this one. Here x equal to none, print of x, the same value is displayed none, then print type of x. The class is none type. This is the type of none data type. Okay, that's all about the basic data types with detailed demonstration. Now here we will overview the container data types later. So in coming chapters, all these container data types we will discuss in detail as chapters. So container types typically refer to multiple values stored together, not single value. So here list, tuple, set and dictionary are the container types. So in Python, these are all the data types. We can consider it as keywords. So list, all are lowercase, tuple, all are lowercase, set, all are lowercase, dictionary, DICT. Whenever you have assigned any data of any of these types, whenever you can use type function, then the outputs will be list, tuple, set, DICT. These are all the output types will be displayed. So let us see briefly all this with example demo. List. So list is an indexed collection of similar or dissimilar entities. For example, here the list is enclosed within square brackets, opening square bracket, closing square bracket. Here, for example, 10, 20, 30 and so on. So all the values can be separated with comma. Even you can use strings also in the list. So for example, Python, that is the string enclosed within the single quotes, comma current, another string, comma version is another string, comma 10.0. So this is the floating point number. So actually here 10.0.1 we can't take. So after point you can take only one value. So 10.0 or 10.1 only we have to consider, otherwise you will get error. So that is the list. Later we'll see the outputs also after executing in Python. Then tuple data type is an immutable. Actually, what is the meaning of immutable? Unchangeable or fixed. So tuple is an immutable, means unchangeable or fixed collection. For example, so here the tuple value is enclosed within function brackets, opening function bracket and closing function bracket. For example, here also strings, combination of decimal values also we can use. For example, Python is a string, comma, current is another string, comma, version is another string, comma, 10.0 or 10.1, any one only we can use. Two dots we can't use. So here this is floating point number, comma, another tuple is welcome is a string, to Python course is another string, then 10.0 is the floating point number. This is the tuple. So list is represented within square brackets, tuple is represented within function brackets. Then coming to set. Set is a collection of unique values like our normal mathematical concept sets using set bracket. So set separated with comma all the values 10, 20, 30 and so on. Then strings also you can use as a set. Then last one is the dictionary. It is denoted as DICT. This is the reserved keyword. So dictionary is a collection of key value pairs with unique key enclosed within single quotes. So here the key value, that is unique number followed by its string or value. So with unique code, you can print the associated value with dictionary. For example, this is also represented within set brackets. So first the key is represented within single quote, any unique code, then colon, then again within single quote, whatever the value you are assigning. For example, formal language and automated, this is the subject code. So in the print statement with index, whenever you can call this code, CS422 directly displays the string value, formal language and automata theory, comma, then another code key value pair. This is the key, then CS501 is the key, colon, then compiler design is the value. Now, whenever you can call with key CS501, it displays compiler design. So these are all the 4 container types. So we will discuss all this in detail in upcoming chapters. So here for all these 4, let us see one simple example before that. Here what values takes all this. So first, values in a list and tuple can be accessed using their positions in the list or tuple by using index. The values in a set can be accessed using for loop. Directly we can't access. In for loop we can use this one. Then the values in a dictionary can be accessed using a key. So the values in a list and tuple can be accessed based on the positions in the list or tuple, whereas the values in a set can be accessed using a for loop, whereas the values in a dictionary can be accessed using a key. Why? Because this is combination of key pair. Now let us example of one by one. First, list example demo. So here list named as lst equal to, so list start with square bracket and with square bracket. So the list consisting of 10 comma 20 comma 30 and so on. These are all the values. If you want to print this one, what it displays, print of lst, it displays the same list with the same brackets, whatever the brackets we enclosed. So then if you can see the type of this list, so type of lst, then it displays the class as list. So this is the simple example of list data type. Then coming to tuple data type, the tuple data type start with function brackets, that is open parenthesis, closed parenthesis. So for example, here tpl equal to welcome comma to the course Python comma 3.10. So here two strings and one floating point value is there in this tuple. Then if you want to print this one, print of tpl, then it displays the same values within the brackets, what are the brackets we have taken here. Okay, now then if you want to see the class of this string tpl, so type of tpl or print of type of tpl, it displays class tuple. This is the example of tuple data type. Then coming to set data type. So for example, set s equal to 10 comma 20 so and so, then you can print s, it displays the same value within the set brackets. Then the type of s equal to set. This can be used in for loop. Then the last one is a dictionary data type. So here suppose one variable dct is created and the values are stored with key pair within set bracket. First one CS501 is key, then its value is compiler design, so separated with colon. Both are enclosed with single quotes, comma. Then next key pair CS401 is the key enclosed within single quotes colon. Its value is formal language and automata theory. So first you can print dictionary values, print of dct directly displays all the values whatever we have assigned here. Then if you can see the type of dct variable, it displays dictionary dict. So now if you want to print the dictionary value using key, here you can see in the print statement, print of dct of within square bracket, you can use the key value within single quote whatever we have given. Now CS501 within single quote we have given. The output is compiler design. The string is, so the string is displayed corresponding to this key. This is key, this is value, key value pair. So this is the example of dictionary data type. Okay, with this, now we'll close the session. So till now what we discussed. So as part of data types, here we discussed about the type function, then the variable assignment with the single variable assignment, multiple assignment, then followed by data types. Data types are categorized into three types, that is basic data type, container data type, then user defined data types. So in user basic data types, we discussed about int, float, boolean, complex, byte array, then string, range, then none, so etc. These are all the various basic data types we have demonstrated with the live examples also. Then briefly we have discussed about the container data types: list, tuple, set, dictionary. Okay, with this now we will close the session. Next class we will come up with other interesting new topics. Till now, all of you, a happy learning.